Dmitri's going to be playing the black checkers at the bottom of your screen. Al Hodis playing the yellow checkers at the top of the screen. On your player cam, Dmitri's on the right. Al is on the left in the green hat. So here we go. This should be a fun, interesting match. Perhaps a bit of a contrasting style. I think I regard Dmitriy as a real student of the game, quite a technician, technical type player. Al's probably a bit more of an old school field type player, but with a tremendous amount of experience. So a bit of contrasting styles, but that should yield an entertaining and interesting match. So putting 2 up for Dmitriy. Al needs to perform coming in, and he does. Brings them both in and hits the blot on the 5 in doing so. 2-6 for Dmitriy, so he'll come out and make the 18. So all of these games, typically it takes a few rolls for a given game to kind of assume a pattern or take a flavor. And then adjustments and decisions are made accordingly, and the game progresses. But sit down, Dennis.
Good morning, Bill. Which one are you commentating on?
This one.
This one. I thought I was starting at 10 o'clock, but the unlucky dice is 10:30. So
Oh, okay. So you got a few minutes. Dennis Culpepper joining us here. So this is kind of and you probably know Al better than I do. He's been around forever.
Yep.
And I was saying it's probably a kind of a mash of contrasting styles. I mean, Dmitriy is, superb player, and he's probably more of a student and technician type player, where I suspect Al is more of an old school field type player, but with a tremendous amount of experience. So
yeah, on average, it's true. Yeah, I go back playing with the Al since back in the '80s.
Oh yeah.
So have a long history of going to the same tournaments. It's pretty much true.
And that's one thing that's really fun about. I'm sorry. It's one thing that's.
Using the car.
I do, but I may need it at 10:30. I've got that rolling thing coming up. I'm just filling in here for a minute.
One thing, and I'm apologize, I didn't turn your mic on there for a minute, but Dennis was saying that he goes back to playing Al into the 80s at some point. And that's one thing that's great about this game is it can be a lifetime avocation and hobby. You don't have to be young like a tennis player or whatever to really enjoy it at the highest levels. You can be in your 60s or 70s or on into your 80s and still playing good competitive backgammon. So.
Absolutely, and a lot of players you become friends with, having seen them over many, many years, and you don't necessarily associate with them because we're from different states all across the country or all countries all across the world. But it's great to hook up with them and, hey, what's been going on?
Renew friendships and
exactly
what have you. And that's, in part maybe been part of the source of increased attendance at pretty much all the tournaments this year. We kind of came through that pandemic era, and there wasn't any tournaments for a year and a half or better, and some people, it's their own option. Some people waited longer than that to come back, but now for the most part, everyone's gotten by that, and it's back to even numbers better than before the pandemic.
Like this tournament in case in point here, they had, I think, around 105 or 10 players, 2019, pre-COVID, and now they have a record
150 or so.
150, 54. 88 in the Open, I think.
Yeah.
So great turnout here for Rory's tournament.
Well, and that's like across the board pretty much this year. In the championship division, which is a pretty good measure. The really hardcore, accomplished players. New York had 97 this year. Texas had 99. Now we have 88 at Rory's tournament.
It's a good sign, a good trend. So 4-3, what do we do? Probably go to the 2.
Yeah, mutual holding standoff game here.
Wow.
One of the problems, Dmitriy, all 4 outfield points he have are stripped, so he doesn't have much flexibility.
That gave him a lot of flexibility for 2 or 3, 4 rolls now. Right. He can play from here. Al's going to be the one with strip now. He's got the 5-point is stripped, the 8-point is stripped. He's one builder on the 13. That's it for his
and
points.
He's just
and
it's fixing to get worse with playing these double threes.
And part of his playability is that he now has 8 checkers behind the anchor on the 18-point, versus yellow only has 4 checkers behind him. So right. he's got more blocking potential, priming potential left in front. Or blocking more than priming. Neither side is going to get primed with blocking.
Now, as people start tuning in this morning, I just want to remind them I like to make this commentary and viewing kind of an interactive affair, so I monitor the chat line over here. If you've got questions or comments, suggestions, critiques, whatever, if you want to wish your wife happy birthday, you want to just hear your name on the air, let me know and we'll try to work it in as we can. People like to be able to take part as well as view. Lots of times.
Make it interactive.
Well, this is he can play it in like that. He could run and safety on that point. Got to do it sooner or later. Might be the time to. He's got a 5.5 point board over there. It might be the time to do it, and he does.
Might be right to switch to make the ace. Just put him on the bar. I mean, not counted the race, but that's my first gut feeling is this play right here.
Okay, but he's gonna lift because he's not real excited about it.
Right, and you're hoping to get a free roll to just like shoot the checker around the corner. Then you think about doubling after that, like right here.
Yeah,
you could think about it now at counting the race.
Well, obviously Al lifted that one off the deuce. Or Dmitry did. Al has that 5.5 point board over there. It's nothing you want to tangle with. Yeah.
No, most time if you get hit, you get one roll and you're getting cubed out because of the gammon threat.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least cubed. Likely cubed out, but not for sure on that.
Okay. Good morning to John Drexel and Marianne Meese is in the house, one of our most loyal and faithful viewers. Been part of the American backgammon scene for longer than she would like to admit, and we've been there too. Her and Butch, of course, for many years ran the tournament in Indianapolis. Have been great contributors to the game.
Yep, been to it many times. So I was trying to count the race here. Skacking, let's see, 26, 66, 76.
Okay.
Double take.
Yeah, and I mean with two open points, that's I think a fairly easy take for.
And you're going to get some shots right off the huff. He could play it safe over here like this 5-1, but I think it's right to go ahead and break it while he's on the bar and
he dupes and he moves that one up and dupes to 2.
He slotted. Okay, there it is, 2. Wow.
He can't really. I don't think he wants to step up into that, so he's going to play the spare end.
You got 5s and 6s out to run, hit a flash shot. You're threatening a blot out here without getting stuck on the bar.
Okay,
and you own the cube.
So now Dmitriy wants to safety take that one out of
and now he doesn't have a good 2
hitting range. So Al's going to have several indirect shots here.
Looks like about 6 or 7 numbers. It's 10, so that's 3, then 5, 4. Oh, 5, 4 is duplicated. It's only 5 shots,
and the
right?
5-5 is
and 6,
less
4.
than 2 shots. So I think you got to play it the other way and make one of them the 5-5. Don't you think?
Yeah, this is one. I think
it's this.
Yeah, I think this one less shot.
The 4-5's double or is duped. The double 5 is in play.
And also, if you make double 5s as one of the hitting numbers, which it is, that's a number that may beat you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if you play it the other way, you give him those shots and double 5 still. So you got to count. That one doesn't count as so much of a shot since it beats you anyway.
Correct. Good point. Well, it's unfortunate to hear that you're waiting the start of the unlucky dice last chance here, didn't it?
Yeah, I'd been on a pretty good roll, but this backgammon is streaky, and sometimes you get good dice for extended periods of times, and sometimes it goes the other way for extended periods of time.
Some days chicken and some days feathers.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've had more than my fair share the last year and a half, so I'm happy to, not happy that I lost, but happy to be still coming out to the games and enjoying the camaraderie and playing backgammon.
Well, and you and Rory go back a long way and are good friends, so you're always at Chicago.
We do.
So.
Yeah, I try to make it. I actually wasn't coming to this one, but then Greg Lilly expressed some interest. A friend of mine that used to play in tournaments.
Now, where is he
20
living
years
nowadays?
He's in Florida. He retired down in Florida.
Okay.
But he grew. Actually, when Rory first came to town and came down to the pool hall where we were playing backgammon, Greg and I were playing. So he was a long-term friend of mine in the Richmond area, but has since retired near Gainesville, Florida, over on.
Well, and it's interesting because he's over on stream 2 right now.
He
one
is
of the final 3 undefeated.
He's 5-0, and he's been in the last 20 years. He's probably been to 3 tournaments.
Yeah, well, that's great.
And he doesn't play in local tournaments or online, so it's pretty impressive.
Not a student of the game necessarily.
Well, he was at one time, but he got away into poker for 20 years, and he moved to Florida. There's no poker there, or at least close by, and there's no backgammon either. So maybe we'll try to get him back out into backgammon again.
Well, I guess playing good backgammon maybe kind of like riding a bike. Huh? You don't forget a lot of the basics.
That's true. You might get a little slower finding the plays. And he has just recently purchased XG. So if he's been gone for 20 years and he's 5-0 and he's now purchased XG, watch out.
That's a nice 6-5 for Dmitriy that might keep him in this. And might put him over the bar here.
Yeah.
That goes to the 3, I think. I don't know.
It looks right. Either play gets off on 3s. Let's see. Oh, it gets off on. Okay. All right. He needs 4s are bigger. 3s won't get there.
Oh, so close.
It was. It made them flinch too, probably.
Well, it's interesting, and people will note that. Since Al was holding the cube there, even when it kind of turned against him anyway, at least with possession of the cube, he got to roll till the end to see if he could get the lucky set or something that he needed.
So even like part of your equity from a take, if you only have 4s, 5s, and 6s here, which isn't much, But that's 336, right? 112. It's like 8.5%. It's
Yeah.
like a third of your equity.
Yeah.
You have a third of a take right there.
Right.
In that poorly timed. So you don't think about it when you're taking your equities, but even into some extreme later stages of it, you still have more than you might think.
Well, and of course, there's always it's a subtle game with a lot of intricacies and so forth. But also, if you play a long time, some people watching players like this and like us and championship level players, they might just see.
Did she say something to me or you?
She was talking to me.
Okay.
She was just saying she's going upstairs.
Okay.
But some things with experience, like bearing in and various other things, certain reference positions, it just becomes almost second nature, and you just do it, and people think you're playing so fast or whatever, but you've just seen so many of these positions so many times, and you appreciate so many of the principles, that you've been doing it for 30 or 40 years. And, the less experienced player has to think about some of these things.
Right.
That are just
Exactly. You got
ingrained in you,
You have an ace or two to play, and like you play it in like 1 second, where they may take 5 or 8 or 10
Yeah.
because, well,
You've
I know
been there.
flexibility is important. It's worth leaving an extra shot to get this position.
Yeah.
You
And
just don't
that
even think about it.
Distribution is important,
Right.
which lends to flexibility. And,
Distribution, risk, long-term
and
gains.
that's like I've heard several different players, I've heard people ask them, what's the most difficult thing to learn about playing backgammon? A common response is learn to play with blots. It's hard for people to learn to play with blots, to take calculated risks to achieve what you want to do. Newcomers oftentimes just want to play station to station, point to point for the safety aspects of it. But, you're giving away the flexibility aspects of it, which, maybe allows you to make points and block more efficiently.
It takes a while to understand the principle of risk versus gain. Like in an opening 4-1, you can play 13-8, right? But a beginner, that's their play because they don't want to get hit, but they don't appreciate the value of leaving a shot now when you don't have to. But if one of the things I think it's really hard to learn is timing. When you hop out and leave 15 numbers when you don't have to leave.
There's a Dmitriy, bit of an early advantage, and Al's going to get to play holding the cube again.
70, 80, 110, 20, 32, 34. Just trying to make a quick count.
I think. Well,
Might be right to hop out.
I was
right
thinking
there.
2 out.
That's kind of
first reaction.
That's kind of my gut.
And Al didn't have much of a defense over there, so
The only other play I might make is 2 down from the mid, which leaves the 2 shot as well. But does dupe his 2 coming up and gets builders to the board. So I'm not sure. This is a pretty difficult play. It doesn't feel right to attack with a 6 because then you're
Giving up
exposing another block with a 4 and you're breaking your prime.
Yeah.
So that doesn't feel right.
I'm coming out with both of them.
That's kind of my gut instinct right now. 11, 12, 13 hits.
Get out while they're getting out's good.
I mean, if you come down with 2 from the mid, you're still leaving 12 hits.
Yeah.
And you're stuck back there if he misses. So, yeah, I have I think I'm out with 2 as well. There you go.
There it is.
And Dmitriy
Dmitriy
thinks
finds it.
that's right as well.
When Dmitriy makes my play, I'm feeling pretty good.
There you go. There you go.
Because Dmitry's
He's
a sharp dude.
He is. He's a serious student of the game. All right, not much there.
Still
Just play
not.
it safe. Safe it up.
Just around the corner.
Yep.
It's 7 away, so it's an indirect shot. So only 2 numbers. Only 2 numbers hit it.
So down and slot your. Oh, he's coming this way, which could be right. I may have slotted.
Could
but
be
this,
right.
This may be right because black may be forced to leave a shot in clearing up one of those points, possibly.
And if black gets fortunate here and hits you or whatever, then you're helping yourself toward later saving the gammon by playing those two checkers both down. They're well placed to make a point, but you're also not burning pips. Although the second 6-4, he did make the 2 point.
All right, no shots. The yellow's got some decent race equity if he can escape. Like this.
Okay. Colleen O'Hare, how can I participate in these tournaments? All you have to do is show up and pay your entry fee. You can go to places like usbgf.org or flintbg.org that have calendars that show all the upcoming tournaments and also lists of the various local clubs and what have you in the country. So let me know. And in fact, just if you don't mind, you can tell us where you're at. We can maybe give you some leads right here.
Leads to players or local clubs.
Yeah, players who may live in your area that we're familiar with, or local clubs in your area.
And Colleen, my name is Dennis Culpepper, and also in these tournaments they have different levels of skill level players. So there's a beginner or novice, intermediate, and open. So if you're new to the game, you'll get to play with, or your skills aren't as high as some of the other players, the open level players. You'll play with people closer to you, and we'll get you set up in the right division. That's where you'll enjoy it more. As you learn to get better, you can step up to play the better players.
There's a nice 6-4 making the 3 point. So Al's in a little bit of a bind, and he's still got six checkers in the outfield on the other side as well.
Yep.
There's another point. So choreography here: 6-4 to make the 3 point, 5-3 to make the 4 point, and now Al's going to get to watch for a roll or two. We got MCG with us again today, offering his extremely valuable insight and perspectives. So, Al needs to get in pretty quickly, or he's going to leave us. Going to leave a scar on him.
Probably a favorite to get gammon now. Now would
be that helped. He's got 7-8 crossovers to.
He's probably
a couple of them long.
Probably a favorite to save it. One. Now it's.
And you'll see he tries to most efficiently just get into his home board there and not what we would call burn pips inside. He's just trying to most efficiently use the dice that he gets to there. He wants to, he's got to have one on that 5 point, so he burned a pip to do it, but that was necessary.
Yeah, you don't want to roll double fives at the end and can't get a guy off.
Exactly.
That pip that he wasted is irrelevant in most situations, but if you happen to be bringing your last 2 or 3 checkers in and you roll double fives, you won't get a guy off unless there's one there already. So
it looks like he got it beat. Yeah.
Yep, unless he's got 2 rolls, Dmitriy to roll a big double. That one's gone, is out. Now it's 3s or better.
5-3. Okay, so
Dmitriy has
3s or better.
3s are better for gammon, and he didn't make it. So Al saves the gammon as we
dodges
thought would happen. Yep.
There's Mr. Miroslav Kowalski. He's from Poland. He's been watching every day, so glad you're enjoying it, Miroslav.
Oh, let me go check the.
Okay,
I was
man.
waiting on that. I heard someone mention Dennis.
Heard
I don't know if
someone-
it's for me or not.
Okay. Good luck to you. Okay, so Dmitri's raced out to what is a fairly substantial lead in only a 9-point match, so 4-0. So obviously now Al's going to have to play a little bit more aggressively and assertively, perhaps, as a trailer, and Dmitry perhaps a bit more cautiously and conservatively with the big lead. Okay, nice 3-1, 4-1 to make a 4-point board over there. Okay, it's going to be 3 down and 1 to the 5 probably. He may choose to hit on the deuce, but I think he's going to do this. So he's got even a slightly better 4-point board. He's got more builders. He's escaped with one of his back checkers. So now Al's going to have to step up and then come to the 9, I think. Got to position himself so he has an opportunity at least to get out or to make the anchor on the front of that developing prime. Okay, Dmitry eschews a broken 6 prime and takes a 4 prime pointing. And then Al dances, so here we are again. This one I would suspect Dmitry may cash this. He could, I don't think it's too good. He's got a bit of work to do, and he's got that 1 checker. He's got to get rolling back there. I agree, Matt. His first 2 cubes were perhaps a bit early. This one's a bit more meat on the bone. But he also, it's mitigated a little bit by the fact that he's, got the 4-0 lead also. But there's the pointing number. Which puts 2 in the air to a 4-point board. Ryan and Rebello has joined us. Good morning, Ryan. Okay, he can step up to try to jump that prime. Okay, now he's going to got a number of builders to attack that. He doesn't, but he can hit it. And step up to the edge over there. Let's sit on this side. The camera's kind of focused here. I'd ask gentleman just sits down next to me, Jason Dortle.
Yes, hello.
Kind of new to the game, but colloquially known as Blunderblutz, and his wife, Bry.
Yes.
Bry Lee, but I go by Bry, I guess. We
Yep.
go by Bry. And so they're starting to get into the scene. And again, I guess you are video type guy by profession.
Yeah, I've been doing video for 15 years, and I started backgammon a year ago with my wife, and we made a YouTube channel. It's been a lot of
He's got
fun.
his YouTube channel. If y'all haven't seen it, you need to check it out. But it's called Blunderblutz. And hello, Boris, joining us. And
Hi, Boris.
so nice to see y'all. I guess you'd gone to the Cherry Blossom, but maybe more as an observer.
We
And
did
this
video
is your
with Ben
first
Friesen.
tournament
Yeah.
to actually
to actually play.
in.
Yeah. That
Both
was-
played in novice division for
And
this one.
Yeah.
are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, it's so much fun. Yes, we're very much beginners, so novice has been nice that way. Hoping in Minneapolis or Madison to maybe play intermediate, but we'll see.
Yeah.
get
I'll be
tossed
staying
around
in
a bit.
novice. I'll be staying in the novice division for quite a while. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's fun, but and obviously you really enjoy the blog and the
Yes.
videos and
Yeah.
what have you, and those are been entertaining, and Ryan has participated
Yep.
in that as well. I watched the one time y'all were playing each other, so I'm sure everyone appreciates the opportunity to put names with faces.
Yeah, it's a very beginner focused channel. It's very much been documenting my and my wife's journey into backgammon. So it's been really cool that way, and this is all part of it. It's just been really cool.
Well, that's great. Rory's got a nice crowd this weekend. And
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's been phenomenal. If yeah, it's just such a great place to be. It's just been, the community's been phenomenal, and it's just been a lot of fun. And I'm eager to, every time we finish one, it's like, all right, ready for the next one.
Yep, let's sign up for the next.
Well, I think you actually, and everyone's a little bit familiar with Hannah because she's been doing so much commentary. But did you just play her little match?
So
or something?
I did. We just did like a little play round. And yes, she is very talented. She knows what she's doing. You can tell she's studying some of the things now, and it's cool to see such a young person so interested in
Yeah,
the
and
game.
really bright, precocious little thing.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Has the confidence. And,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, and she sits here and
She just knows. Yeah,
talks
she's just
like us. As a commentator, and typically a 10-year-old would be kind of shy
Yep,
and reserved,
yep.
but she's
in her element. Yeah.
she's in her element. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, she was calling points out and everything, and I'm like, yep, I'm not going to be able to offer much for this right now.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I'm still trying to figure out what the numbers are around the board. Yeah, so it's
Well,
gonna
and that's
take a
what's
bit.
funny because a lot of beginners are less experienced players, newcomers, kids particularly. They're going to be counting pips when they're making a move, and she's playing just like a, more experienced player. She sees the numbers, she grabs the checker and moves it to the
moves it
correct
right away.
spot without.
Yep, and here
counting
I am.
pips or anything
I'm still
else,
like,
so.
okay, let me just count out to the 5, and it's all right. Everybody's has their own process, and yeah, as you
Okay,
get confident.
well, we're neglecting these guys
yes,
a little
yeah.
bit here, but don't worry about that. It's kind of a straightforward game for the moment. Dmitry's got, good and bad, and now Al's going to try to take advantage of the fact that Dmitry may be crunching here. He needs a 1 to get up to the edge of that, a 1-6 to escape. Or else he's going to start crunching, and that, of course, is what Al was banking on here. Now he can. This is going to be interesting. He's going to make the 2-point. I think he could make the 3, but then freeze him up to escape with a 6.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so Dmitry would just as soon maybe have danced for a roll and see if Al wouldn't crack. But now the roll's kind of reversed now.
Yep.
Al's going to Dmitry again would just as soon stay in there, and Al's got to play, and if he doesn't roll a 6, and that hurts. So now he's going to have to break his board. Well, he could shift to the ace and not have to leave a shot, but Dmitry can relatively easily escape. I'm good, thank you. Okay, so he does get a 6, which is great. You need to get out, but that also allows Dmitry, were he to roll a 5, to hit with a 1, 2, or 3 on that inside.
Oh, just missed.
Yeah, he'd go into the 6. So this is just who rolls does Dmitry roll a 5 or does Al roll a 6? And Dmitry got the 5. Okay, now Dmitry might think about it, but I don't think at the score he's going to be sending that cube across there. At an even score,
Yeah,
maybe,
for sure.
but not a recube.
I enjoyed when Dmitry was commentating with you. I don't know if he was yesterday, but a few days ago, and Victor was on as well. That was a fun one to watch.
Here, Matt was suggesting that it was after a non-6 by Al a while ago, it would be a redouble. Of course, Ryan says he'd take the redouble. And again, those are all score-based considerations,
Yep.
right? I mean, if Dmitriy were to ship the 4 right now, Ryan would take it on 8 and or on 4, and perhaps quickly, with any opportunity whatsoever, be shipping it back on 8 to Dmitriy. So that's why you have to kind of measure your actions in certain regards.
This is the best part about watching experienced players, the cube actions, because that's just, as a beginner, that's just something that's so hard to do right. So,
and it's so critical to the game
Yeah.
in certain
it
regards.
is. It's so fun. It's adds such a layer of complexity that it just makes the game so much more fun.
And it does, and some people talk, like the Middle Eastern and Mediterranean basin, a lot of those people grow up playing backgammon, but they don't play with a cube. And so you'll find many of those players, they have great checker play, but they're,
Sure.
they've had no experience at all with it.
Oh.
But it does, as you said, just add such a layer of complexity and intricacy to the
It does.
game.
It does.
And new levels of understanding of, match play versus
Exactly.
money play and what have you.
I'm terrible at counting pips, so I've just been using Pratt, and someone told me Woolsey's Law, so I've been using that when I'm not sure. I'm like, I think this is okay. I'm just going to send it.
Let him,
Yes, let them
the
figure it out.
opponent think about it. And it's interesting. I mean, as you probably learned, there's any number of ways to count pips, and
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
and you'll find the one that is most comfortable for you.
I've been the best at colorless, but I'm still so slow at it.
And that's what's, it's interesting. And you'll see a lot of people, shall we say, I mean, there are advocates that say we ought to just show pip counts and take the counting out of the game or something. But I think, that's a skill.
It's-
a developed
Oh, yeah.
skill.
I agree. As a beginner, I like the pip counting. I think that sets it apart in a lot of great ways.
And there are those of us, there are a number of players, and I'm fortunate to be among them, that can really count fast.
Yes.
And, and that's can be a significant advantage at times.
Yes. It's very inspiring to see people that can count it so fast. It really, then I'm like, oh, I hope, someday if I'm really like processing, like, come on, brain, you can do it.
It's interesting because there are a number of different ways to count in an absolute basis. And then there's also a number of players that count in a comparative basis.
Yep.
So just by comparing the structures against each other, they can come up with a differential.
Yes. Comparing has been the easiest for me.
Yeah,
People who
visually.
keep running counts, I think Matt keeps a running count from what I hear. I haven't had a chance to talk with Matt much, but that blows my mind.
Well, there's oftentimes, and I don't know if she still does it, Karen Davis used to keep a running count all the time, and she's one of the quickest pip counters there are. Steve Sachs is, and there are others, but almost all of the elite players in one manner or another are good pip counters because it's just a necessary skill. Okay, KG's in the house. I'm visiting with Jason Dortle and Bry, and somewhat new to the game, but making contributions already with their Blunderblots blog and videos.
Yeah, we got to meet Kent in Virginia. He did a lecture, and it was nice that I was able to record it. So I got to go through the lecture and edit it, and so it was extra value.
Who was that with?
Yeah, Kent Golding.
Kent Golding?
Yep.
Oh, okay, great. Kent's a Hall of Famer and great guy, been around longer than he would probably even like to admit. So where is it? Kent says
Ben's got it. I sent it to Ben. I'll wipe my hands clean of that one.
Yeah. Our work here is done, right?
if you need Ben's number, So, okay. So once again, Dmitry has everything going his way, and Al is struggling. But Dmitry, with this 6-0 lead, is really increasingly difficult for him to be too assertive with the cube. Okay, this is a shot. So, of course, the ace, a single ace shot is the fewest number of shots, and double ace is the most efficient to hit it.
Yep.
Perfect.
Hello, a bunch of people joining up with us, and we're going to have a full day of streaming. We're streaming stream 1 with commentary. It's here on the Backgammon Galaxy YouTube channel. This is the first of 4 rounds or 5 rounds today. And then we have stream 2 and stream 3 are on the Ace Point Backgammon YouTube channel. And so watch them all and be sure and hit those like buttons. And, as you being in the video business and the blog business.
Yeah, it helps with the algorithm.
You
It
know,
definitely
with
does.
the algorithm, the more viewers, the more likes and so forth, the more benefit it is not only for the contributor but for the community as well.
Yeah, serves it to people who might not otherwise see it.
Ah, look at that. That's a nice bit of historical trivia by Kent. 1978 world champion Kent Goulding and Al Hodis were the 2 losing semifinalists. And that was only a mere 45 years ago.
Has it always been in Monte Carlo?
The first, and Kent can probably address this better than I can, there were 2 or 3 or 4 years early on where it was in what was called the World Championship, was in Vegas and or the Bahamas. Kent, you can straighten me out here. And then in like 76 or so, it went to Monte Carlo.
Okay.
And has been there ever since.
Kent says the Bahamas.
Yeah, Nassau, Bahamas. And one of those, I believe, and again, Kent was playing long before I was, that Paul McGrill won, I think, the one in the Bahamas.
I liked during Kent's lecture where he said, we didn't have the books, we wrote them. It's like
That's inspiring.
as a beginner nowadays, it's so there's so much wealth of knowledge out there. Which thank you to everyone putting that knowledge out there. It makes the game so much more attainable, and just more fun to just get up and running and good times.
Oh, shut up! That was 1978. Okay, so here's it's kind of turned around here. Al has got in, no, it's Dmitry put it out, and again, Al's clock's running. So quite a bit of a racing lead, 36, 96, 108, 120 for yellow, and only, boom, boom, boom. 49, 61, 81, 90. So 120 to 90. So a huge racing edge. Now, I like it. Vinny, I guess that's Vinny Ramirez, Vin R. Does Blunderblots own a non-plaid shirt?
Funny
It's a great
story.
question.
No.
We are flannel people. It's always flannel.
Yes. A little Wisconsin
Yeah.
does that.
I think this is it's 30 pip differential by my counting. So I would. Oh, wait, I thought Al's clock was running, but Dmitry takes I'm confused. Oh, and one in the air. Oh, we're talking too much, and I got confused. Anyway, I overlooked the checker on the bar, Matt. I apologize. Uh-oh. Fives are blocked, so he has to break to 6. So, Okay, Dmitry needs to enter, and of course he's a favorite to do so with two pips open. Which, thank you, Vinny. It's always neat to, I like to have different guests, different commentators to offer their perspectives and for people to meet, put faces with names.
Yep.
And make it more watchable than just a pure cut and dried. I mean, we try to follow the matches and offer some insight and perspective, but we, have some human interest. We have some humor. We have some interviews. So we try to keep it watchable as well.
I mean, I credit your streams and Nick Blazer's commentary. I think it was one of your streams that he was commentating with you that I stumbled upon when I first started, and then that just kind of
sent you down the rabbit hole.
Sent me down the rabbit hole in a big way. So,
well, I apologize.
And here we are today.
But we have a good time, and at a number of these tournaments, in particular as you progress to later rounds, and the matches are maybe more consequential in one respect or another, and also a lot of other players are available because they've flushed out or whatever. I mean, there's at times, backgammon players love to commentate and hear themselves talk.
I just wish I had more to offer right now.
Yeah, and they, we'll have people almost fighting over the mics.
I saw last night there was a line already, pretty much.
Yeah.
And and I'm breaking in my apprentice Hannah.
Oh yeah.
So and she's loved it as well.
Yeah, you can see the confidence in her wanting to talk to the community too. So that's cool. It's so cool. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, you can just see the confidence, and you can see that she's so interested in something too. That
Okay. So let's see. Al is looks like he's gonna bring this one home. And as I say that, Dmitry rolls a set of fives, but he's still in a significantly behind. 6, 7 checkers for Al, and Dmitry's got 11 over there and not nearly as well distributed. And okay, so this has gotten tightened up to a 6-2 lead. Were you're still live in the novice, or?
Yeah, we start at noon. I'm 5-1 right now. I don't know. I think it's first, if you get 4 losses, you're out. So there's me at 5-1 and Sheila with 5-1. Is Sheila might be Al's wife? Is that right? Or do I have people turned around here?
I don't know.
I know they were sitting there
saying a green hat. Her husband has a green hat.
Yeah.
So is that the right person? I
think that's the only green hat that I'm
aware of. And she was a joy to play with.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Very fun to play with. The game came down to the wire at the very end, and she pulled it out.
There's some guys saying highlighting newer players and streams and getting their insights is great for the game. Blender Spots is a great page.
Oh,
so that's
thank
from,
you.
Yeah, thank you.
JVY11. I'm not sure who that is. But,
thank you very much.
Okay, so Al is stopped the avalanche and got back in the match a little bit here. Just glancing over here real quick, I have another TV. We can see the Stream 2 match between Herb Roman and Greg Lilly, 5-9. And those are 2 undefeated players, so that's quite a competitive match over there. And then for some of y'all, and I can't see it right now, so I don't know the score, but on Stream 3 is the last 2 undefeated intermediate players, Howard Linneman and Paul Baselli or something of that nature. I apologize if I mispronounced the name. But for you family and friends and fellow intermediates that might want to watch that match, you can see it on the Ace Point Backgammon YouTube channel.
We were talking with Paul a bunch last night, actually.
Yeah,
Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, he made his own board, actually.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I think he said his dad was here watching too, so he's got some family here kind of cheering him on. So yeah, hoping for the best for him too.
Well, it's funny, a lot of times, when we're streaming and not only in domestic tournaments, but certainly international tournaments. So, as soon as somebody finds out they're going to be streamed, they want the links and all that, so they can send it to family and friends
yep.
and local clubs or what have you. And it's a lot of fun.
Get the cheerleaders out. Come on.
And it's worked out superb, and it's good for us. It's good for the game, I think. But we get so much exposure now.
Paul Belcito.
Paul Belcito. Tara tells me. I apologize for mispronouncing that or misrecalling that. Paul Belcito. But, we've been fortunate to develop and refine some of this streaming stuff. And as such, we're getting to do a lot of travel and get a lot of exposure.
The fact that you have three streams going right now, and I know you said 5 coming up sometime.
We
in the
had
near
4
future.
in Texas this year. We're going to have 5 in Texas next year. Typically, for traveling jobs, we do 2 streams. Rory wanted to do 3 here because of that team event that had 3 players, and we could show all 3 matches. But we're doing the Backgammon World Championship in Monte Carlo streaming in July. We're streaming Dubai and
That's awesome.
in September. So it's a lot of fun.
Definitely getting to travel around, meet new people. That's been the best part about it so far. Just everybody just from all over the place.
Okay, so
Cubes.
Dmitriy lets that one go. He had 1 checker trap back there, and Al had a lot of ammo. Matt thought it might be a double take, but Dmitriy let it go.
There's a lot of 8 cubes going around yesterday.
There were some 8 cubes floating around. There was some 8-point games. I know Jeb Horton beat Victor on the second game of a match. Round 1, stream 1. Jeb gammoned him on a 4 cube on the second game.
Wow. Cool.
So we were calling, I don't know that I use the term, but the stream 1 was kind of like the Devil's Triangle yesterday. Like every match was a blitz. You just wanted to be on the correct side of the table when it developed.
It's so funny. I'm big fan of Michi's books, and so often as things are happening on the board, I'm like reciting his proverbs in my head. Like right there, the most important point is the 5 point. It's a beginner,
Well, and that's, there's so many great contributors to the game in various fashions by their play, by their, writing books. Michi's done a number of books. Mark Olson and Mochi just put out a book. And Nick's got the new book.
Match play,
and I'm, overlooking some, but and then just as great ambassadors to the game.
Yes.
You get your Michis and Mochis and Victors and Olsons and Neil and Kit and whomever, Matt. It's
Roberti,
just
I got a few of his
Roberti.
books. Yep.
It's just a great community. And 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 I've seen it. I don't know if I right off the top of the head, but to find your blogs and all, it's just YouTube.
Blunderblots, 2 words on.
Blunderblots.
Yep. We named it that because we're beginners, and it's. I figured, there's going to be a lot of blunders and tons of blots all over the board in a not good way. So.
So true.
Now with time, perhaps you might need to rename it.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll just always
We'll
just be
always
terrible.
The
As long as we're having fun.
Blots might not always fit. As you hopefully.
Then it'll just be a play on words, right?
There's been a lot of progression already. Like we were just talking about all the books and so many of the different blogs and articles and videos out there. It's if you want to, you put the time in, you can progress very quickly.
Very fast, yeah. Even the kids in the novice division, and when I say kids, I mean like all the people that were in it. just hearing like they've only been in it for about a year and how much they've learned over that year, I'm like, oh my gosh, like some of these people are counting pips already. I'm like, where's my brain and why is it not going?
And stuff like, and I don't know how many of them might be using it, but things that are available now that weren't available,
Like
a
the
decade
apps,
or two
like
ago.
all those
the
apps.
the XG,
Yep.
things that's where you can, study and play against it and analyze your play and so forth. And it's great. Here, this is kind of interesting. Dmitry's trying not by his own design, but kind of a wholesale assault of taking over Al's homeboard.
It shouldn't be.
I can't count this race, hot shot. Well, we've got about 90 right there in Al's homeboard for blacks. So, being on the 20 point is 20, but
I consider that his home board at this
that's
point.
80 plus 3, 7, 93 in Al's homeboard that
my
Dmitry has back there. So,
He's just setting camp up in two places. It's
yeah, like I said, he's kind of invaded Al's homeboard and taken over his territory there.
This is reminding me of that when I first started last summer that I watched Sander and Zdeněk. I think it was in Monte Carlo, and Zdeněk had a back game like this. And I'm like, even right now, I'm like, I have no idea what to do with any of this right now.
Yeah, like how do you come in? I guess at this point, like you're kind of stuck and playing around. Like, what do you do?
That's gonna help him a little bit in that he's gonna have some more checkers to play with for the moment,
Sure.
and he's not in as big a danger of crunching over here.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen a game this different. I mean, a lot of the times they look pretty similar.
I kind of like Dmitry's play. I would have had to think about it a little bit longer, but it's kind of shifted the entire flavor of this game, that set of sixes, and he was able to hit 2 checkers. And here we are.
Yep.
It's almost like it's going to be a mirrored transformation.
Yeah, just turning right around.
Yeah, and he did play it very quickly, Matt. It seemed like Dmitry's either been down this road before or just had a good idea of what he wanted to do, and it's kind of panned out for him, because now it's like we say, it's kind of a complete mirror image of where it was 3 or 4 rolls back. So that's a hit. So back and forth.
It
we go.
is.
I was going to say it, and it's still kind of the case that Dmitry is still vulnerable a bit to like seriously vulnerable a bit to like double 4s, double 3s.
Yep.
Something of that nature. John O, he's back. How was the wedding? John didn't get to play in the main event because he had some wedding engagement yesterday. Really,
How dare they plan their wedding during?
yeah, I was gonna say, it's really really unfortunate when people don't take into consideration backgammon tournaments and what have you when
Get it
they,
together,
they
right?
plan
Get it
events like that. I know it was funny in my family. It's been 30 years ago, probably. It created quite an uproar right in the middle of football season and the beginning of hunting season. One of the nieces had scheduled her wedding on a Saturday, and everybody's like, "Whoa, that's the first day of hunting season." You got a couple of big games, and how do you do this?
Yep. My dad would have skipped it.
Not that important to you.
Okay, so let's see. It's kind of an ebb and flow here. I mean, it's Dmitry had made some progress, and now it's kind of slipped back away from him. He's back to the ownership of Al's home board, and that hurts. Like I said, he was going to be vulnerable to threes and fours if he wasn't careful, and there it
Called
was.
that, yeah.
And I don't know that there was any way that he could have avoided being vulnerable to that just based on the rolls that he received. But
Oh no, again, you're saying.
what did we say about vulnerable to double threes and you
Oh dear.
roll
Back to
2 in
back.
a row?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a help, but he can't really anytime soon contain anything. So I'll just kind of charges on. This is a difficult game to play,
Yeah.
isn't it, John? Said this is a difficult game to play. I think which one? I mean, which player? It seemed like both of them might have had an opportunity at one point. Yeah. Dmitry probably never had it because of the score, if nothing else. And but when he first got to escaping some of those, as several people, Matt says he should have cubed like 12 rolls ago. And now he almost has to play it on as perhaps too good, although it's just such a ebb and flow kind of game here. And Matt says it's clearly too good now, and as would expect. But if Dmitry can keep flushing some of these back checkers out. Well, I don't know. That's an interesting perspective, Hussein. But, one thing, all the streaming and commentary and all that Tara and I do, although, the USBGF does a fine job in the States and so forth, but we're completely independent of the USBGF. Our streaming and commentary is our own work and own efforts. Okay. He doesn't really mind getting hit necessarily. There's, Dimitri's still working on getting some of these checkers out and about.
This is a game I would love to see with XG analysis, just because I have so little experience with anything like this.
Well, I think we can reasonably assume because there's so many permutations in back games like this, and you don't know how to play it, that you're not going to see some really low numbers on the XG analysis.
Yeah, everyone's distracted.
Yeah, like Matt saying to somebody that, black's essentially dead in this position because they have so many buried checkers. And, yeah, now he's got to focus on ultimately getting around and making the 5 or the 6 or both to have any hope. But I don't know that he's going to be able to do so before Al would potentially leave a shot. But that's his obvious goal in slotting the 6.
Basically, just doing your best to get out and save gammon, then.
Yeah, right here, Al could potentially in the next roll or so leave a shot, but
Yeah.
it's just Dmitry has little opportunity to contain him.
I'm a hopeful guy, so I always there's always hope, even when there sometimes isn't.
Staying positive.
Now soon, and he can play that and only burn a pip. But now Al's going to cash after all of that. So 6-4 Dmitriy.
All right, I'm gonna go grab some more coffee, so I'm gonna let someone else take over the mic. Thank you
Okay.
all. Appreciate it.
John
We'll
might
chat you later.
John might step up if
I
he
figured
like.
probably would like.
John O'Hagan, one of the best. Mm-hmm. And
Okay, good morning, everybody. I got a sore throat, but I think I'll survive. So let's see, 6-4 up to 9, 3-way, 5-away, and then Herb and Greg Lilly are 3-way, 4-away.
actually, we're over here in Hodis and
I'm taking a break.
Hodis and Obukhov, not Herb and Greg are the other match.
Right.
Oh yeah, they're stepping away for a sec.
Yeah, they're gonna, and it's funny people don't get accustomed and know that Tara has all these graphics now, so they write a note that put it on there.
Gotcha.
Oh, we're on break. Well, she's got the graphics that show we're on break. Anyway. Okay, so Herb and Greg are over here, and there's a 4-cube going back at Herb from Greg. And Herb's probably going to have to let this go.
Yeah, so take points like 18.5%. I don't think he wins that often, so yeah, I think it's a pass.
Now, I was talking to people earlier about, Herb been playing forever, great guy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Yeah.
He's gotten to several finals and not managed to win it. And I guess you were the most recent one to crush him in a final.
Yeah,
Break his heart in San Antonio.
In San Antonio last year, yeah.
Last year.
That's right. So, all right, 8-5 Crawford.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're seeing it. It's on the screen here. As soon as Al and Dmitry come back, Tara will be switching us back to that match. But they can see Herb and Greg here for the short term. So this is the Crawford game. Now, of course, the objectives here by virtue of the score is Herb would love to win a gammon, and Greg would hate to lose a gammon. So he's going to be gammon save and gammon go.
It's not quite gammon save and gammon go when you think about
Well,
it.
it's 8-5, and yeah.
Yeah,
I was
but
I had 7-5 in mine. I apologize.
Oh, that's all right. So 8-5. If say if Herb wins 1 point, he's down 8-6 post Crawford, which is 32% match winning chance, right? I think. He can win a gammon or 2 singles in a row. So if he takes and loses, 0 takes and wins a gammon, he's like 49%. Anyway.
Hello, Philippe. Welcome to our viewing today. But and they didn't turn the card over, but as we know, Greg just scored 2 points. So this is the Crawford game. So Herb has no access to the cube.
Right.
So a game like this, when you're in Greg's position, how much does your game plan change as far as do you still play pretty normal, or are you trying to play more safe and less bold in this case because you're just trying to bring it home, right?
Yeah, and there's no bonus for winning a gammon.
Yeah.
So you lean towards just solid plays and racing type positions.
Gotcha.
And there's no, the value of a blitz goes down because there's no extra bonus when it works.
That makes sense.
John, I don't know if you meant this is Jason Dortle.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
He's have y'all met?
Yep, we met in Virginia.
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
great.
Yes, we did.
So
Yes,
you're
we did.
familiar with him a bit.
Yes.
It was a pleasure watching you and Roberto in the finals.
Yeah.
It was a fun match to watch.
Yeah. All right, 6-1 for Lily here. Looks like you just play safe. 10-3, I think. Or is it Herb that rolled that? Must be
No,
Greg.
it's
He's on the right
Greg's.
side.
Greg's 6-1.
Yeah, I think just play safe here. I mean, to make the 7-point, you're leaving a double shot. That doesn't right. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back over to our viewers listening to the commentary or watching the Dmitriy Al match here now. So 6-4 Dmitriy, 3-away, 5-away. And so Al's rallied fairly well here. Dmitriy was up 6-0 early. Hit.
There's another proverb for me. Tree fight for a good point. They're all going through my head as we play.
Dancing on the 2-point board. This is rather aggressive early cube here, don't you think, John?
No, I think it's correct.
You think it's correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sixes, ones, and threes. All hit.
Dmitriy lets it go, so it's
Yeah.
correct or not, it was effective.
Yeah, I think it was correct. Yeah.
Would you let that one go too, John?
I think I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, sixes, ones, and threes all hit. Eights hit loose. So yeah, look, and you have no the real board. You have no anchor except the 24-point. It looks like a pass. And
So
if
here
you
we
do
are
take
at
that-
3-away, 4-away, which is a rather interesting
Yes.
score as well.
Right. Yeah.
Matt also passes there.
Okay. 5-2. All right. Splitting down here. Okay. 2. What is that? 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2, so he hits and shifts.
Okay. Well, let's see. You can make the 10. You can go 13-10 and split. 13-9. I don't know.
5-point.
Few choices there. Probably the split was a little better. All right. Now, probably make the bar and then 11-10 or 24-23. I like the extra. Well, it's close, I think.
Yeah, I went straight to 24-23 as well there.
Hey, he's gonna.
I think 8-6 with the 2. You don't want extra blots laying around. But it is an extra builder, so who knows? Might be right.
Yeah, I was surprised, and Matt says splitting's not the idea. I was a little surprised that he split with so much structure in front of him.
Double ones, just switch points. 3-1 twice, right?
Buy him, ideally buy him a roll or two to try to anchor
Let's
or
see,
escape.
What's the alternative? This could be right. I don't know. Makes the 5-point, even though it leaves a 6 shot. Be right, or let's see, 13-10 and make the anchor, or safe.
Matt says no way on that double ace play.
So would he have double hit 3-1 twice?
What was your play, Matt? John was thinking double hit with a shift, 3-1 twice. Double switch for sure. He said. Here, I think Bry's working on some
behind the scenes over there. Yeah.
Some content for the blog.
Yep, I believe so.
Okay.
Okay. And
Make
now
the
what?
ace.
Make the ace is probably right. I think so. Ooh,
Ooh, that's
not bad.
make the 8.
Make the 8, and then one more.
One
either
more.
13-8 or either 20 to 15 or 10 to 5. I guess with the last one.
I kind of like 10 to 5. If he's gonna hit him, if he's gonna hit me, I want him to hit me inside rather than outside necessarily to have more direct returns. But I don't know. Seems like he's got to make the 8, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it's just finding the last 5. This is my play. I like this.
Yeah, this looks probably right, or if it's wrong, it's probably not wrong by much. All right, bad shot.
Does probably work as in the photography industry too, or she just kind of picks it up.
I've been training her for the past 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Dmitriy is playing on for the G, and that looks right.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward here.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of ammo working on that 4-point. Doesn't get it, but he's
Yeah. And a 3. So do you
probably
leave a
just come
couple
on to the
jokers?
12. You don't want to give him those fly shots off the.
And that leaves what? 3,
Yeah.
5, and 2, 5. Might be right. It's an extra builder, so making the
that's
4-point
nice.
is really nice. So I don't know. I probably would have done it too. All right. So now he's definitely
Makes
playing
that.
on.
Al's
All
gonna
right,
crunch.
makes the
Yep.
4-point. At this score, the leader, if he wins a gammon, gets him to Crawford. So a gammon is really valuable here, much more so than like at a normal score.
And with Al being 4-way, if he can get to Crawford, then Al, without gammons, takes him 3 games to
Right.
win.
Right, right. And also, if you just win 1 point here, you're at that sort of score where everybody knows, as the trailer, you should be aggressive with the cube.
Yeah, 2-way,
So
4-way.
you kind of don't really want to be at that score. You'd rather be Crawford 4-way, obviously, by a lot. So, anyway. And there's very little chance of losing here. So it's definitely a huge play on. 6-5 wouldn't be too nice here, but
Al really needs 5, or else he's going to crunch
right.
more so over
Right,
there.
didn't have to move
Didn't
at all.
have to play either way.
Yeah.
And now Dmitry may well have to give up the 8. Well, there's
Yeah,
your
leaves a shot.
there's your 6-5, but
Yeah. 13 hits. No.
Crunch-o-matic, we have almost the bridge there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Keep an eye on Al here. We don't want any checkers switching from one stack to the other.
This has been some of my most enjoyable parts of the games lately because I just read end game techniques. So it's been really nice trying to figure bear offs. That was a really cool book.
Well, Dmitry just going for it.
Sure.
There's no downside because Al has no defense over there.
Right.
So,
Right. Ooh, wow.
Whopper.
I didn't even some slight BG chances here.
yeah, I guess Ken may have looked at it or might be just his opinion, but he's going back to that double 1. He said any other play was a whopper, than the double shift on that double ace.
3-1. Yeah, I guess.
So now it's kind of the offset. Well, and he can't contain. I was going to say it's kind of an offset coup classique, but Al's just got to you know, bad enough to lose a gammon. You don't want to lose a BG here.
Yeah. The one to hit and maybe save the G. No.
Okay.
8-5 Crawford.
Well, that's it for me. Pleasure chatting
You're
with
out
you,
here.
gents.
Well, thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me on, Bill.
stopping by,
Yep.
and good
All
luck.
right, Jake.
Good luck in your continuing novice matches.
Yeah,
and your
we'll be starting pretty
continuing,
soon, so-
backgammon education and contributions with your blog and so forth. So,
Thank you.
Good to
Thank
meet you. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, likewise. Take care, everybody.
All right, Jason. All right, 8-5 Crawford.
And this one just went to 8-5 Crawford. So they're both great. She's got them
No.
both up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other match ended.
Maybe it ended, and
think
she
it
put
did.
them both up. I just glanced over there, and
Yeah, I glanced.
I was
up there.
thinking it was identical scores, but
Yeah, I think I glanced
Lily
over
won.
as they were shaking hands at the end. So it's
so
like-
Greg must have won. He
must
was
have.
leading.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. 5 makes the 3 point.
So if Dmitriy can hold on and win this, he'll remain undefeated. And Greg Lilly, having apparently beaten Herb, is also undefeated. So there'll be
Okay.
2 undefeated players.
Yeah.
Dmitriy and Greg Lilly.
Okay.
So we'll see them on
4-1 makes the anchor.
round 7, stream 1.
Probably a little better to play 3-2 at that ace there for Al, even though it leaves 2 blots. This is kind of impure to play 4-3. All right, 5-4. Now what? Just cover? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he didn't want to give up the anchor this early. I think.
Yeah, probably. 5-3, so maybe 9-1 or 9-4, 6-3. It doesn't matter a whole lot. But
But you got, consequently, Dmitry stripped on all 3 of his
outfield points.
outfield points.
It's true. Yes. Happens a lot in these dual holding games. All right. What does he get there?
And that's the solution.
Yes, it is. Yeah, out and down.
Although he can't, he still got the 3 strip points, but they are closer
Yeah.
and
yeah.
a
Yep.
little easier to clear them, particularly the 8 and 9.
And Al might well have to have a difficult decision coming soon as far as when to clear the midpoint.
Well, you know, and I think it was Ed the other day used a term that I had not heard before or really used before, but it's appropriate here. Al is kind of overtimed, right? He's out in front of himself somewhat. He'd like to have a.
All right, what do you do here? Do you bust up your board to play safe? Or do you leave a direct shot when he's got a strong board? This is probably right, but certainly could boomerang if he get hit. Yep. Okay.
So in this, in a worst case scenario, it might be the worst case of losing a gammon at this
Yeah,
4-way score.
possible. But
That
so
That
he
tends
comes
to-
around and hits loose on his 5, I guess.
so if he
Looks right.
if he escapes getting hit this roll, that might be it.
Yeah.
And he does. So
4-3. Yep. And it's all right, I go.
so Dmitry just needs to be ever so slightly careful to to bring this one home.
Yep. Got a couple bad sixes here. 6-6, 6-5. But 3-2.
There's also the pointing number. Several pointing numbers, and he got one of them. Uh-oh.
1. 3 more. So 6-1, all three.
There's downsides
in.
with either play.
Yeah. I want to count how many flat levers you have after either play. Might be about the same. 3-2. Play safe. Yep. 4-3. 4-1.
Okay.
Double gap.
Say where there's gap, there's hope. Where
That's
there's a
right.
gap, there's hope.
3-2 dance. That's a good shot for him. And 3 and a 2. Okay.
This is a Swiss format, Kent, so they're playing just continuing rounds, like records paired, and you keep doing that until one person remains with less than 3 losses.
I thought he's supposed to take another checker off there.
So, the advantage of being 6-0 is just that you've got one more life than those with 1 loss. So, round 7 is scheduled to begin at noon, which is 30 minutes from now. And